Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with the Pastor. Good morning for coffee. Good morning for Bible study. We're going to look at the book of Jonah this week. Last week we talked about why Jonah, yesterday we talked about why Jonah didn't want to go to Nineveh. Nineveh was the capital of the Syrians, a very cruel area. Jonah was a prophet and probably already knew that God was going to use the Syrians to punish Israel. And so let's just read about it. In Jonah 1:1, the word of the Lord came to Jonah, son of Amittai. Go to the great city of Nineveh and preach against it, because its wickedness has come up before me. But Jonah ran away from the Lord and headed for Tarshish. He went down to Joppa, where he found a ship bound for that port. After paying the fare, he went aboard and sailed for Tarshish to flee from the Lord. Then the Lord sent a great wind on the sea, and such a violent storm arose that the ship threatened to break up. All the sailors were afraid, and each cried out to his own God. And they threw the cargo into the sea to lighten the ship. But Jonah had gone below deck, where he lay down and fell into a deep sleep. The captain went to him and said, "How can you sleep? Get up and call on your God. Maybe he will take notice of us, and we will not perish." Then the sailors said to each other, "Come, let us cast lots to find out who is responsible for this calamity." They cast lots, and the lot fell on Jonah. So they asked him, "Tell us, who is responsible for making all this trouble for us? What do you do? Where do you come from? What is your country? From what people are you?" He answered, "I am a Hebrew, and I worship the Lord, the God of heaven, who made the sea and the wind." This terrified them, and they asked, "What have you done?" They knew he was running away from the Lord because he had already told them so. The sea was getting rougher and rougher, so they asked him, "What should we do to you to make the sea calm down for us?" He said, "Pick me up and throw me into the sea," he replied, "and it will become calm. I know that it is my fault that this great storm has come upon you." Instead, the men did their best to row back to land, but they could not, for the sea grew even wilder than before. Then they cried to the Lord, "O Lord, please do not let us die for taking this man's life. Do not hold us accountable for killing an innocent man, for you, O Lord, have done as you pleased." Then they took Jonah and threw him overboard, and the raging sea grew calm. At this, the men greatly feared the Lord, and they offered a sacrifice to the Lord and made vows to him. But the Lord provided a great fish to swallow Jonah, and Jonah was inside the fish 3 days and 3 nights. So Jonah is told to go to Nineveh to preach, to tell them that they're wicked. God's going to judge them if they don't turn. And he doesn't want to, because he doesn't like the people from Nineveh. He also knows what those folks are going to be doing to Israel sometime in the future. So he runs, gets on a ship. It's going to be sailing away, and the seas get very rough. And so Jonah's down below sleeping, and they come down and said, "Man, call upon your God." Maybe they'll be like that. And then they realized somebody on that ship must have done something, so they cast lots, fell upon Jonah. They said, "What can we do?" Jonah says, "Throw me overboard." And I believe Jonah felt like he would die when that happened. I don't think he was prepared to be swallowed by a fish, but he thought, well, just kill me. So they didn't want to, but after a while they did. The sea was calm, but God had other plans for Jonah. He had prepared a great fish. Now, a lot of people consider that to be a whale. It may have very well been, but the Bible calls it a fish, a great fish. So he swallowed. It's a prepared fish, and he swallowed so that Jonah doesn't die. He's down in the belly of the fish. And I think the real message of Jonah chapter 1 is you can run from God, but you can't hide from him. Jonah wanted to run from God, and he wanted to hide from God, but God's everywhere. and God knew exactly where he was, and God knew exactly how to get his attention. And that's true in our lives. We can run, but we can't hide from God. And so Jonah's in the belly of the fish, and we'll talk tomorrow about and look at the passage in Jonah chapter 2 about what happens when Jonah's been swallowed by the fish. I hope you have a great day, and I hope that you'll never want to run or hide from God, but you'll run towards him and embrace him. Blessings upon you. Bye now.